Now, to the health of your kids, obviously one of the top priorities for many parents. And a lot of you will probably be able to agree with this. The pandemic life for children these days is just happening in front of screens.
Yeah, lots of screen time from the iPhone to the tablet to the TV and computer. Their
The
eyes
list goes on.
just glued. They are glued to bright screens for hours a day. And doctors say that could lead to some big problems that could last the rest of their lives. Optometrist and Dr. Millicent Knight joins us live this morning to talk about what parents can do to help keep those young eyes healthy. Doctor, good morning.
Good morning.
So I know you're concerned about this condition. Is it myopia?
Myopia.
Yes. So
And most people
what is it?
nearsightedness. It's essentially nearsightedness, but we now have a lot more information about it. And particularly as we've been sheltering at home and our children have been homeschooling and using a lot of e-tools, and they're really on these devices for really extended periods of time. Our concern is that the eyes are locked into an unnatural position for so many hours at a time that it can lead to headaches, it can lead to lots of discomfort, but most importantly, it could lead to increasing myopia. And if your child is not already diagnosed with myopia, that could be the onset, and it can also progress. And it's the progression that we're mostly concerned about because that can long-term lead to some eye diseases.
Really quickly, what kind of eye diseases could this then, I guess, worsen into?
So first of all, we know that the myopia can progress, and many times year after year, you have to go in for a stronger prescription of spectacle lenses or contact lenses. There are ways now to manage that progression so that that doesn't occur. But if the progression is allowed to occur, the incident is much greater for conditions like retinal detachments, myopic macular degeneration, even cataracts and glaucoma. And those are all sight-threatening conditions as we get older in age.
Yeah, those are some really serious problems that you would not expect to be dealing with, especially at a younger age.
Right.
Now, I know researchers have been surveying parents, talking about some of their concerns here with kids at home during the pandemic. Talk to me a little bit about what some of those concerns are and then what parents can do to address them.
Well, really, we want to make sure that children are not spending these enormous amounts of time in front of their digital devices without any breaks. The Global Myopia Awareness Coalition is a group that is organized and recently did a survey of parents to find out just exactly how much time they're spending. And we know that 44% of those parents say that their children are in front of devices for at least 4 hours a day. And then they're accessing some of their e-schooling for up to 6 hours a day. That's going to be increasing with children not going back to school. And the parents themselves are also on devices for at least 59% of those parents are on all day as well. So we, first of all, have to lead by example and make sure that we're using good etiquette with our digital devices and shutting them off at reasonable time periods. So as it gets toward the end of the day, if your child's bedtime is 9 o'clock, an hour or so beforehand, you really need to use some discipline and shut the devices down. And what that does is it allows the hormone melatonin to kick in, shut the brain down. Its job is to tell us it's time to go to sleep, get some rest. And that way the child is able to get a good night's sleep and be fully functional the next morning. So those are the types of things that we can do. And in addition to that, the children should be outside for an hour or two a day at a minimum. And that allows them, number one, to get some vitamin D, which we so sorely need. And it also allows the eyes to flex into a natural position at infinity and not be locked at a unnatural 12-inch distance from the nose all day long. So those are just some strategies. And a lot of parents will say they don't know what signs to look for. If your child is squinting, if your child is experiencing headaches, if they are utilizing disruptive behavior, those could be indications that they're not seeing well at distance and their vision is blurry and they are showing some early signs of myopia.
So interesting. And it's actually funny because I actually asked my eye doctor about, why did I lose my eyesight when I was in 5th grade? And he was telling me about research that suggested that kids who are like in cities and on computers more tend to lose their eyesight sooner, but kids who are out in like rural areas and playing outside more tend not to have as many problems. So that's really interesting that you kind of mentioned that outside playtime being important for eye health as well. So good for so many reasons. Thank you for all of that helpful info, doctor.
You're very welcome.
All right.